as soon as this comes up.
He did during lunch.
Go live. Okay. DJ, let's get some music going. There we go. Whoa.
Okay. Let's not.
No music. No music.
Megatron.
Never mind.
Decepticons mobilized. Starscreech.
That better in there, kids?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Starry.
Way better.
Check 1, 2.
Okay.
Here we go. All right.
Can you hear me okay?
All right, Hannah, if you want to
Okay.
take a second. What is going on?
It doesn't want you to walk in here.
Is my mic okay?
There we go.
Commander Megatron.
That's better. That's better in there now, yeah? All
I
right.
feel like you can only hear me
If I go like this.
Okay. There we go. All right. So, Hannah, if you
I-
would, you got your phone? You want to jump on there and share this out with your friends? It's on my profile. It should
I feel like you can only
showing
hear
up.
me. Mr. Otero, I feel like you can only hear me.
If I go like this.
Okay, and Leah, you want to go ahead and hit go live on Facebook, please?
Which Facebook?
You should see it pop up here in a second. It's going to tag you.
Alright, cool.
Every Facebook. Which Facebook? Every Facebook.
All the Facebooks.
All the Facebook.
Can I get on my phone to share real quick?
No, because we're live TV and I will get in trouble. All right, there we go.
Well, listen. I do all the time.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and share this out.
Okay, I did it.
A successful Jeff Tech grad is in our studio.
Right now.
Keaton, did you see
Paying, okay, and we are streaming out and pushing this out onto our social media channels. So if you're just joining us, that is what we're doing here. You want to go ahead and help us out and support our program and support our guests today and let people know that we are live from the Digital Media Arts Studio at Jeff Tech with the next episode of the Digital Edge here. Just a second, paying a visit. Welcome, Anna Flynn.
You need a pencil like the...
All right,
have Chris Barkley?
share now. There we go. One more thing I need to share, and then we are ready to go.
Can you actually hear me, or is it just like in
No,
here?
it is live. Why
No,
don't you
is it,
guys keep
like-
your comments and commentary germane to the show? That would be great. And we're almost ready.
Chill, Hannah. Calm down.
All right, here we go. Looks like we are live. And let me hear from our producer today, our VMix operator, Nalia Gardner. We good to go? Give me the thumbs up. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and double check and make sure that all of our camera sources are working before we get the show going. Give me that beat cam. Excellent. Looking good, as they say. Give me the wall cam up here. See? There we go. Looking good. And give me that overhead audience cam. And the audience cam dropped. See, that's the problem. Let's go ahead and fix this. Where's
Okay,
my
wait.
technicians?
See?
Sitting
See?
there.
You can hear
Get up off the chair and get in here,
You can
please.
hear me? Like, not if I talk like this.
But if I talk.
Unplug the
Like,
camera.
into my mic.
Plug
not
it back
just gonna say
in. We had to drop the camera source. I see that. Did you see what I did to fix it?
Like on my collar?
Here we go. Where's our camera source? Reset.
Maybe.
And there we go. Now we got our camera. Okay, got it. Let's go down and do the show. Okay, we're ready to go?
Maybe.
So we got music, we got audio. All right, let's go ahead and kick this off with our Digital Media Arts Stinger and our Jeff Tech Stinger. You're tuning into the Digital Media program at Jeff Tech, and it starts now. There we go. Cool stinger made by one of my seniors, Kylan Gardner, in After Effects. My name is Mr. Otero, and I am up on the big stage with Jaden Kessler Dante Smith, a special guest, Ashley Mays, and a very special guest, the subject of our show today, Miss Hannah Flynn. Put your hands together and welcome our guests up to the show today. Excellent, excellent. We got a studio audience, some of our kids from the PM program here in Digital Media Arts joining us to learn about Hannah's experience in the real world. So, we say the students come here, and as much as Jeff Tech is structured, all career and technical education is really structured for the purpose in like the real world. Fact is, there's a big difference when you're in high school in there and when you move on into higher learning at a four-year university. So we are going to hear about Hannah's experience moving from Jefferson County Du Bois ABTS in the computer technology program up into Edinboro studying graphic design, which is perfectly appropriate to our program here in Digital Media Arts. And Ashley joining us as well, interested in said technologies and studying a similar pathway. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to the girls here. And gentlemen, you've got your mics as well. Welcome to jump in. I'm going to fly around and just kind of do my thing and chime in now and then. Okay? So welcome to the Digital Edge, Miss Hannah Flynn. There we go. Yeah. Congratulations on your new life.
Thanks.
Now, remember what they say. Eat the mic. Put
Okay.
that thing up to your mouth.
Right.
There you
Better?
go. Okay, John, let's go ahead and proceed with our interview and talk a little bit about Hannah's transition into her college program, and let's kill that music. Excellent. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Me too.
This is so
I'm
exciting.
glad to be back.
Huh?
I'm glad to be back.
Oh, speak into the mic.
Glad to
We're
be
not gonna hear
back.
you. There you go. Hear the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, you good to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's have at it.
Are good. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine.
I can't hear myself. Okay. Like through.
Through
Like,
the PA.
yeah.
I can boost it up for you a little bit.
I don't know how that works. So
It's a separate feed. I'll go ahead and bring you in to hear more a little bit so you got a better monitor.
Okay.
Okay? All right, kids. Have at it.
That works for me. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to start
Settle
off
in.
with our
Focus
first
on those
question.
Zooms, right?
What college are you currently attending, and what are you studying as your major?
Okay. So for where I'm at right now is in Edinboro University, and that's about like 20 minutes from Erie, so it's pretty close to like civilization. So that's nice. And I'm studying graphic design. Well, graphic and interactive design is the technical program name, and it goes with graphic design and then a bit of like web design as well.
So how long is your course that you are currently taking?
It's a 4-year program, so I'll graduate with a bachelor's degree.
Nice. What do you plan on doing once you get out of college?
I don't really know yet. I haven't thought that far. I'm a sophomore in my spring semester, my sophomore year. So I'm only halfway through. So I haven't super filled out everything yet and figured out exactly where I'm going to go after this. But
So how long has your course been thus far? Like, how long have you been in it so far?
I have 2 years. In May, I'll have 2 years in.
So what was it like being a first-year student at college?
My first year was kind of like it was an interesting ride for sure. Just getting to know new people and like leaving my comfort zone.
For sure.
Thankfully, I had my friend from here come with me, Brad, and so we were both there together. So I at least knew one person, but it was just like different and like getting out. And I didn't actually have a graphic design class until my second semester, so it was a lot of like gen eds and like foundation courses, which were really helpful. But just getting like comfortable in a new place was definitely more difficult, but it worked out. So.
How are the staff at Edinboro?
Oh my
Nice.
goodness, our
Friendly?
faculty is amazing. Second to none. They're so fantastic, and like the teachers and like staff and professors are all really supportive, and they just want to see you do well. And it's less like authority; they're more of just like a mentor and like a guide. So you're not really like it's up to you to help yourself in college. So they're not gonna like bark down your throat if you didn't do your assignment. Like that's on you. They don't care. Well, they do care, but they're not gonna like yell at you. So that was a different world to get used to and just kind of find like self motivation to do your projects for yourself, because this is ultimately what's gonna go in your portfolio and get you a job.
So I heard you were a former Jeff Tech student. What was your technical shop?
I was in computer technology, so it was Cyberlink's class.
What was your graduating year?
2017, so 2 years ago now. Yeah.
What kind of organizations and clubs were you involved with?
I was in NTHS for both years, the National Technical Honor Society with Mrs. Galuzzi, and that was fantastic. And then I was also in Future Business Leaders of America with Miss Heberling, and I was in that for all 4 years and did a lot of competing through that, which I can go into. And then I was also in Skills USA. I competed in that as well. I think that's everything.
So how did FBLA help prepare you for the real world, as long with skills?
They did a lot to just give me the skills and like leadership skills that I needed. So with FBLA, I was on a committee, like some type of, like I was either treasurer or president or secretary, like every year. I tried to stay really involved with that. So I learned a lot of skills to like event planning and like our fundraisers. And right now at Edinboro, I'm in Graphic Design Club. So I'm doing a lot of those same things for Graphic Design Club as the treasurer. So I've been doing, those have helped a lot to help me like figure out how to do fundraisers and organize that and just like count money and the typical stuff. So it helped prepare for that a lot. And then just knowing how to do like presentations, like especially with my final FBLA competition, the publication design, when we had to present for nationals, I am a lot better like at presenting my projects at school. Like, because after every project that we finish, we have to present it to the class. So I'm already pretty experienced with that.
So a lot of business management.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what convinced you overall, like pushed you over the edge to start studying graphic design at Edinboro?
I think the atmosphere at Edinboro is really nice, and there's a lot of, the community there is fantastic, and it's kind of just like, the art is definitely the main of the school, like that's the biggest program that they have there is art majors, so you just feel really like at home and like welcome immediately, and you fit in like really well, because it's just, there's just so many art kids, so like we're all really similar and like have similar interests, so that was really nice. And the faculty as well is just, like I said before, super caring and just there for you, so it felt close. It felt like this, like it felt like Jeff Tech did. It was close to home, or not like close to home, but it was like, it felt like home, like everyone was very supportive and like there for you, and you kind of know everybody, so it's nice.
Okay, so some of our students in computer technology, we mainly focus on database design and spreadsheet applications, which I'm sure you're familiar with since you were in that shop. How is that beneficial after high school?
I did a lot of it. I work at the Edinboro University Department, like art office, so I'm in there and I do a lot of spreadsheets in there, just like organizing students and matching them with like their academic advisor, so who they can contact. So that's all in like a spreadsheet that I have to fill out, and then I have to like collect their syllabi for every year and put those into like a form, and have that way they can search through them quickly. So I've used it a lot, mostly at work. So that definitely helped me get that job, because I was able to say like, oh, I've already learned like Access and Excel for 4 years. Like I know what I'm doing for the most part. So you won't have to like train me on that. And that's definitely like what got me the job, was that I had done that. So,
What was your favorite thing about Jeff Tech?
oh my goodness, there's so many things. I love it here. I'm such a like, oh my goodness. But it's such a hard decision. I would have to say the like community. Everyone, I mean, clear down from the like director, Mr. Philman, all the way down to like the janitors. Like I knew everybody by the time I left, and everyone is just so excited and so supportive, and they don't really forget you. Like every time I come back, they still say hi. Like I saw Connie, the lunch lady, earlier in the office, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, hi!"
I love
and
her.
it's like you wouldn't think those would be the people who remember you, but they do, because it's just such a close community here, and I love that. It was like a home away from home.
Why is Jeff Tech the perfect high school to go to?
You learn so much, and it's way more than you would at like a traditional high school. So it was really nice, because my first class in graphic design is graphic design software, because we only have that one software class where they teach you InDesign, Photoshop, and Illustrator. So it's a really fast-paced course, and for most students it's really challenging. But since I had already had the 4 years at Jeff Tech, I was able to go in and get like an A in the class with flying colors and do really, really well and have like an edge up already. And then like for other students, I know, like I was thinking about Brad earlier that came up with me, he was in the programming end of computer technology. So his first 2 classes were like a breeze for him, because he already had that base knowledge that you get here. So even if you're like they prepare you to where you can get the job and just go right out of high school. But if you do want to learn more and continue into higher education, you're going to have a step up on the rest of your peers because they've just been learning math and science for the last few years when we've been doing that and more.
Okay. What are some of what's your favorite thing about Edinboro?
I think one of the things I would be is probably the classes. I think they're really well done, and the staff is really, really knowledgeable. So not only are they there for you and they care, and it has the community aspect too, like Jeff Tech did, but they also the classes are really well fleshed out and taken care of, and make sure you're learning what you need to be learning. So it just gives you a really good sense of feeling prepared, and they make sure no one gets left behind.
So trailing back to FBLA, I heard you made it to nationals.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about your experience.
Okay, so for nationals, that was definitely quite a ride. We started out wanting to do a presentation and for publication design, and we had to come up with it was I don't even know how to describe it now. We had to come up with an idea for a TV show and market it from the full fleshed out the commercial everything. So we worked really hard on that. We would have started in October of 2017 school year, and we went all the way into July of 2018. So I was still doing this program after I had graduated, going to Anaheim with Miss Heberling and Lexi and doing that. So on the screen there's some pictures as well of us, and that's at states, and we won first place in states, and that was really exciting because we weren't expecting to get first. So being able to actually go up there and win first place, I could just remember screaming on stage and just running to the guy to get the awards. So that was all really fun. It was a lot of work, but it definitely taught me a lot, especially with presenting.
So what advice do you have people that in computer technology aren't sure that they want to join FBLA or are currently about to go to states and hopefully nationals?
Definitely just work really hard. I mean, obviously you still have to keep your academics in mind, but just work as much as you can and get your stuff done in shop. That's your actual assignments. That way you can just work on that as much as you can and try to work outside of school. We did a lot of that. Luckily, Lexi lived close to me. She was my partner in it, so we were able to get together after school as well and continue working. So just a lot of keep at it. Don't just take it for granted and think you're going to do just fine. You really have to work hard because there is a lot of kids that can beat. So, and as far as just joining FBLA in general, I mean, there's so many benefits to it, and it continues to be number one on my resume stuff today. What experience do you have? I'm actually applying for a job right now as the resident live-in scholar for our live-in learning art community, and that was on my resume. What experience do you have to lead this community of students and be a tutor and guide to them? And one of the first ones I put was FBLA because of all the leadership skills that I learned through the workshops there. So yeah, there's definitely a ton of benefits.
What advice would you have to our current Jeff Tech students going through Jeff Tech and just living it?
Getting through school, I would just say apply yourself as much as you can. I think that's one thing I noticed the most about students who weren't always excited about their classes is that they don't always apply themselves. So as long as you do that and continue to be excited about your work and just be as involved as you can, you should go into your academic classes with the same passion as you do for shop, because they're so they don't seem important now, but they are. And like I was saying earlier to you guys in shop, I had to write an essay on a typeface for one of my projects. So, Mr. Doan's class came in handy there. It was I needed to know those English skills that he taught us to get to write that essay for my graphic design class. And it's nothing you'd ever really think of.
I got to chime in on this. I have to chime in on this. Do you have my audio out there, Nalia? Yeah? I remember when you first went off to school, Hannah, and you came back to visit. I think it was over Christmas. And you said, Mr. E, I have to tell you. Do you remember that day when you told me about that?
Yeah.
About the work ethic thing? And you stood over there with my kids, and you pay attention there in the booth. I remember what you said, and I was just yes, it sunk in. What did you say?
I think it was just like
Pay attention back there.
I think it was just on applying yourself. Like, you get in as much as you get out. Like,
But you said the
put in.
difference between what we were doing here and the level that you were working at there, and how the teachers pushed here and said, you don't know really what you're in for here, you know? The difference between the levels that you were operating at and what you had to do to ramp up your performance.
And I think they definitely, with you guys, it's more of like a watchful eye, and like you encourage us and like help us to work. But in college, they're more like you're in it for your own, like you do for yourself. And if you're not applying yourself, no one's gonna like come over and be like, why aren't you doing your work? Like, it's up to you. So you really have to hold yourself to that standard, because there's no one saying do this, do that anymore.
Right. There's no hand-holding.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And that's why you guys wonder why we teach the way that we teach. In particular here in my methodology, that's why. Because whether you're on college or you're going into the real world and working, nobody's going to hold your hand.
Yeah.
You got to be a self-motivated, self-starter. Now, what does that mean to you? What sort of adjustments did you have to make in terms of perhaps lifestyle, maybe, or what did you have to do to accommodate that higher level of responsibility when you moved into this position?
I think one of the hardest things that I was getting used to is here at Tech, at least when I was here, I don't know how it is now, but we didn't get a whole lot of homework, so I didn't really work outside of like classes much at all. So when I got to college, it was like, oh, it's fine, I'll just work in the class and then it'll get done and I can go back to the dorm and do what I want. But that is not the case anymore. I spend a lot of hours still in the labs. Our Doucette Hall is our main art hall, and I probably spend more time there than I do in my dorm, just doing work and doing all my projects and working on stuff. So it's a lot more time put in, and I think I did put in a lot of time, like not to say that I didn't put in time here, but it just required less. So now my projects are more fleshed out, big projects. Like instead of doing a poster, I'm making a whole book. So there's a lot more to do. So the biggest adjustment I think was allowing time for that and like being tough on myself, like, no, you can't go to the movies tonight. You have this huge assignment to do.
Yeah, it's something called priorities.
Yeah.
And along those lines, too, you can say, well, I'm allowing time for these projects and whatnot, but if you're not aware of the time that it takes to get the job done, how effective are you being? So time management skills, how important has that been for you?
I think pretty important. That's what I'm still struggling with, really, is just like figuring things out, because a lot of the stuff here, it was like I was able to do it pretty quickly and pretty easily. So now with like the bigger projects, like I had a web design HTML website to design last weekend, and I had it pretty much done from what I had fleshed out in class, and I was like, oh, okay, I can just add, it was supposed to look like an email about like a tour, like a band tour. So I was like, okay, I just have to add the 2 more dates and then their website link. It'll be fine. It'll take me like 20 minutes. I was up till 2:30 in the morning. It didn't take me 20 minutes by any means. Just like little silly stuff that goes wrong, and I didn't plan for it. So there went my sleep for that night.
Nice. Who needs sleep when you're in the realm of digital media? All right. So, guys, questions. We got our studio audience in here. We got our panel up here on the desk. Certainly, you all are. How many of you guys? Let me ask the question here. How many of you guys are thinking of going to college? Necessarily haven't made the decision yet. Okay, so about half the kids in the room. Great. Certainly, you have to have some questions. Jaden?
I mean, all the questions that I was thinking of were already answered.
Okay.
Does the audience have any questions?
I have one question. You said you are currently studying graphic design. What is it like for someone that is planning on going to college for graphic design?
I don't know how other schools do it, but I know with Edinboro, they have a really strong like art foundations program. So when I was expecting to go to college, I wasn't expecting to have to be off the computer and to do painting classes and drawing classes. Like I wasn't expecting,
Photography.
I wasn't expecting any fine arts, and that's a really pivotal part of how Edinboro does their educating. And if you would have asked me my first semester, I saw no value in it. I didn't see why do I have to draw? Why do I have to know how to draw a figure? I want to do graphic design. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. But just like the size and how you work with the like fill a page and positioning and like just the theory behind them really paid off and helped. So I did a lot of classes that I thought were unnecessary, but like now I'm starting to see like they really help in my design.
Come into play.
Yeah.
So, if you could give advice to kids that are studying this pathway, what would you summarize?
Just try to find value in like everything. Really, I think there's places to learn.
That's a great point.
Almost everywhere. So just
like your history
look.
of hip hop class.
Yes, yeah, that was an interesting one. I'm also in an astronomy class right now too. So it's like it was funny because we were sitting in the class and he's going through the constellations and he's like, "Oh, there's the constellation Rigel," and I'm like, "I know that one. I made an owl." in the nationals competition, so it was like a nice wraparound. But you can use them in so many different things. And just, too, staying involved. Like, I was really super involved here. And that's kind of like what the slide here focuses on is just
Now,
like,
Leah, you want to pull that up, please? There you go.
my involvement, how I've continued in college. So right now I'm the treasurer for Graphic Design Club. And last semester I was treasurer and the acting secretary. So just, like, staying involved with everything. Don't, like, give that up if that's something you like to do in high school. Now, and if it isn't, try it because it's going to benefit you in the long run. And just continue to stay involved because college does get a lot busier. But like if you apply yourself, you can make time for it. So like the first picture here is with me. I'm volunteering with an organization called NextGen, and they get students registered to vote. So that's me at the tent there handing out muffins and like snacks and stuff to get kids to register. And we actually had a bus going that was taking kids to the polling place. So that was really involved and like something I didn't ever see myself doing. But that was like a good thing to do. And I'm in the honors program there as well, so we have like service hours.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I get to do a lot of like service projects. We have a pen pal project with a local high school with like students who have like challenging in English. So we write pen pals back and forth to them to help them with their writing. It's really fun and like super rewarding. I have the most amazing student right now. Her name's Zoe, and she loves dogs, so I bought like dog stickers and like stick them all over it. She loves it, but it's super fun, and I've like will never formally meet them, but just writing back and forth to them has been so interesting and something you don't get to do a lot nowadays because like, we're always texting. So it's nice to have like a pen and paper connection with someone that I don't really know, and it feels like she's excited and I think has like learned from it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Competition.
In college?
Yes. How did you feel when you looked around your class and you had an opportunity to see the talent that was represented there from other people?
All right.
Was that a wake-up call for you?
Oh, for sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, coming from here, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but with going to nationals, I was kind of top dog over there, which I liked it. Like that's what I was used to, and I was used to doing really well and being like one of the higher ups.
Big fish in a small pond.
Yeah,
right.
It
Exactly.
was nice, and then my pond got bigger, and oh boy, there's a lot of talent. The kids are really good, and just like. It was kind of rough for me to see at first because it's like they don't have these 4 years experience. These kids are coming from a typical high school. Why are they better than me? So it was like it took me a while to adjust and understand that it's okay to not always be the absolute best in the class. And that was a hard process, and I was used to doing really well in tech as well. And like I left with a 4.0. Like I was used to doing great in college is a whole different world. So it was like my first semester hit me pretty hard when I did like I got a C in my drawing class, and I was like, oh my goodness, like my world ended. So that was a really rough adjustment, but I saw a post on Facebook earlier today.
Hey, now, you know what? I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You got a C. You can't. You can't.
Like, such a big deal.
Shaming our stage. How dare you?
But I saw a post on Facebook earlier today that was like, you kind of got to learn to just take the L. Like, that's what college is. You just take the loss. And I was like, that's so true. Like,
sometimes.
You just got to move on.
What are you holding your GPA at?
It's a 3.0. It's not. I'm not super proud of it, but I'm okay. I'm okay.
There
I mean,
you
a
go.
3.0 is average, so
Yeah.
I just wasn't used to being average, so I
Absolutely.
was like, okay.
I
fine.
understand.
One of the things that you were telling some of our students was to find out what you're good at it, what you're best at, and keep up with it and be the best at it. Anything else you want to add on to that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely find your talents and your strengths and, like, focus on one area. Like, I know I did pretty well at, like, publication design for that in the competition, so that's kind of what I focus on. Edinboro has a class just for that. But also not being afraid to step outside your comfort zone, because, like I said, I was one to always, like, continue to work on the computer. And my most recent project, if you want to pull up the demo slide, there's a picture of it. Oh, almost. That's some real world. There you go. Okay, so for this project, it was really, really fun, and it was my first time doing like graphic design off the computer in a way. So we had to take an article and make a magazine spread out of it, and do one that was expressive type and one that was formal type. So for my expressive, the article was on the first creation of the first Ferris wheel. So I built this Ferris wheel, long night with hot glue and burnt fingers, but it was okay. And then I tied my type. I printed out like
You graphic designers have it difficult, you know.
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't lose an arm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So count your blessings.
You said this was also part of your hands-on what you had to do.
Yeah. So it was really interesting because I could have just got a picture of a Ferris wheel off the internet and
Right.
throw it into Photoshop.
Right.
But she really encouraged us to do something different.
So you had
outside
to
of our
build the
comfort zone.
prop, compose the
Yeah.
scene, shoot it, and then build your spread around that.
Yeah.
So you got the total picture in your head. There you go.
Yeah. So that was really
I like
really
it.
fun to do.
And I like the use of shadow in it as well. Was that planned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was able to like get the camera a certain angle. I probably have like 1,000 of these pictures on my camera.
Yep.
So
She had a fan.
Good thing you
said,
weren't shooting in film like the old
Yeah,
days.
really.
You said you had a fan blowing and you took like thousands of pictures and you
Yeah.
found the perfect one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else you have that you want to show us?
There is. I did a demonstration today for Heberling's class. If you want to go in the Google Drive, I should still be up there. I think I left it open. Is it there? Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
did it?
Lena, you can move around, grab some different shots, maybe from behind scenes here, jump on,
Oh, there you go.
get some shots in the Leah
Is it
there,
still
working
open
in
on
the
the
booth.
bottom?
You
It
know?
should still be down there.
Yeah.
Open. Okay.
Bring that up full screen, Jaden.
Okay. Click off that and go to the one with the Corgi head. Oh, that works. Okay, we'll just start there.
It's Rachel.
That's Rachel. She's my
One of
little
my
roommate
pride
now.
and joys, one of our digital media arts
She's her
students.
roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah, she lives right next to me. We're like 2 feet away.
Aw.
It's great. I love having
Well,
her.
Rachel, if you're watching, hi, Rachel.
We miss you.
Yeah, it's really nice having her there, and I've seen like such a flux of like tech kids end up at Edinboro now.
yeah.
I super wanted.
Well, who
Daylene-
else? We got Daylene
Yeah.
Tabasco from my program. Who else? Who else is up
Daylene,
there?
Rachel, me, and Brad are
Uh-huh.
all there right now. And then I don't know
That's
if there might be some more. I don't know. Those are the ones I know of. I wanted to get like a group picture when the
That would be
girls first
great.
got there. I need to still.
Send it to us if you
Okay.
can snag them and we'll put it up on the post on our website.
All right, perfect. Yeah, but I just love
So,
seeing
tell us
them all
about this
get
picture.
there. Okay, so right now, I'm done with my foundation courses, which is nice. I'm not a fan of fine arts, so being done with drawing and painting and all that has been a blessing. But right now, I'm in a photography class, and we have been learning about like long exposures and like getting. So this is light photography. And this is literally just us like flashing the light on and off while the exposure's open and Rachel shaking around Christmas lights. So it turned out really cool. And I got an A on the project, so I was excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of them. And then, click one more. It should be the moving one. Nope. One more. Does it not move in here? No, that's the PSD. Keep going. Nope. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Oh, well. Okay. Go back to the dog. It's okay if he doesn't move. There you go. Okay. So this is a little demo I did with Heberling's shop this morning. And it was teaching them how to make a GIF. So just do like a small animation in Photoshop. So this is the dog, and we kind of had him like raise his eyebrow and stick his tongue out.
You may need to preview that in a browser.
Okay,
It's probably
maybe.
not
I know
gonna
that's
show.
the AI file. Can you find the GIF file?
the GIF in there?
Oh, top one. Click on that. There we
it
go.
is.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, so I taught them how to make that.
Ah, boys, we were
Was
talking
my-
about the simple animation today. The cartoon idea that you have. Might be able to do that in GIF form.
Yeah, for sure. It was super interesting to learn. I did it for a project. We had to do an icon system of 6 icons on a topic. So I did mine on like alien abduction, which is super weird. She told us to pick something that we like were interested in, and I wanted to do just space, and then it ended up at aliens. So I think my class thought I was a little strange because the prof was like, "What are you obsessed with?" And mine's on alien abduction, but it's fine.
Nice.
So that's why I learned to do those, and I did one of like a cow being sucked up by. It might be in there.
What you got?
Click off of it real quick and go into like the list of them. Scroll down. Is there one that says cow goes up? Yeah, there we go. So there's that. I made the icon set
Cow
for
being
it.
abducted.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the cow was an icon, the spaceship was an icon, and then I combined them together in a GIF to suck up the cow. And that was a really exciting project, and I thought the tutorial for it was like simple enough to come do a workshop for Miss Hyperlink's class on that. So, yeah.
I'd have to say it was really fun.
I'm glad. Yeah, it seemed like it was a pretty good hit. I hope you guys get to like play with it and experiment some more.
Excellent. Anything else we want to wrap about?
I don't know.
Rapidly,
I'm trying
What,
to think.
Mr. Kanar? Was that an unsavory term for you?
Rapidly,
That's a little old school, isn't it? It was. My apologies. I didn't mean to offend anybody
Yeah.
with my.
Good job.
Offended, I'm going away.
Did you have any more?
No, I already.
You wanted to hear me rap. That ain't gonna happen,
Yeah,
pal.
it seems like everything.
Yo.
I
Stop.
can rap.
Stop.
He can rap the fast part of the Cat in the Hat.
Can you really?
Do it.
Would we like to hear Jaden rap the fast part of the Cat in the Hat? All right, zoom in on Jaden. There we go. Okay, Jaden Kessler.
Do you have to do this?
Okay, hold on. Let me get. I got to get ready for this. Okay.
This is what we do
All
on
right,
video
the pressure's
chat.
on.
And we saw him pick up.
Okay, now hold on. We got it. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready?
No.
You were born ready, man.
Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up.
You
the
even
cake and
poofed your
everything.
hair up today for this, so.
He's trying to do it.
Okay, you ready?
Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake and the rake and the gown and the milk and the strings and the books and the dish and the fan and the cup and the ship and the fish, and he put them away. Then he said that is that, and then he was gone with the tip of his hat.
Yeah! That was impressive, son.
I have the Cat in the Hat book with me.
I bet you do. I am impressed.
If you want to know,
Somehow-
that's what we do on video chat.
I had no idea that you had such skills. There you go. They probably have a class for that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's history of hip hop. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more like that.
Hannah Flynn, thank you so much for coming in. This was great. Ashley Mays, thank you for joining us on the show. Anytime, you are welcome. Dante and Jaden, thanks for helping put together the show. John, running DJ deck back there with our launch pad. Give me some music as we'll go ahead and take the show out. And, of course, we got our studio audience here as well. You got some music going? I can't hear it. Crank it up. There we go. And, of course, Nalia Gardner out here running VMix, and Elena Stankovic running, taking some pictures for us for our website, behind-the-scenes stuff. You've been watching The Digital Edge. My name is Mr. Otero, Digital Media Arts Instructor here at Jeff Tech in the IT Academy, Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania. Want to remind everybody, go ahead and pull up that split screen. You want to learn more about our program, you can visit us. Keep track of us on social media. On Twitter, we are at Jeff Tech DMA. Pretty common sense names. Jeff Tech, Digital Media Arts on, what's that icon?
Instagram.
The Instagram. And what's the next one? Jeff Tech DMA on what Facebook?
Facebook.
All the Facebooks, right, Paul? Every Facebook. Jeff Tech at Jeff Tech DMA. And of course, DMA stands for Digital Media Arts. And you can find us on YouTube as well, Jeff Tech Digital Media Arts. This is where we stream our live shows for our class as well as the Jeff Tech Jumpstart. Hey, great job, everybody. I am impressed. Nalia, bring that final scene up. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Mr. Otero. Our special guest, Hannah Flynn, knocked it out of the park. Great job, kids. Peace to y'all. We'll see you next time around. Let's wrap it up. Killer show.
Way to go,
Turn
guys.
those mics off.